Here are my top 5 exercises which you should be doing if you want to grow big, complete legs. So my name's Sam Board. I've been bodybuilding for over 10 years. I've competed at one of the highest amateur levels in the men's physique division, and I'm co-founder of the online coaching service Built by Board Twins alongside my twin brother James Board, and we've helped hundreds of people get in the best shape of their lives using the methods which I'm going to be sharing with you on this channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 leg exercises which you should be doing if you do want to grow some big, complete legs. Now there's different variations of most of these exercises, but it's important you just find the ones which suit you, which I will again help you do in this video. So exercise number 1, believe it or not, is going to be adductors. Now the reason I put this as number 1 is because the majority of guys out there are hugely neglecting this muscle, and it is very important if you want to grow complete legs. You'll find that most people focus just on their quads and their hamstrings, and they get a great development from the front and the back, but there's no depth to their legs. So placing adductors, in my opinion, at the beginning of the workout is going to be a brilliant exercise and a brilliant way to start your leg workouts, because it's really not going to take away from the rest of your exercises. We shouldn't miss out on getting PBs on other exercises from putting adductors at the beginning, but we are going to allow us to have them at the beginning, have huge PBs on adductors, therefore huge adductor growth and huge complete legs. Now, that is exercise number 1. When we're doing adductors, just make sure that you are allowing your legs to come out as far as is comfortable for you while keeping your ass firmly in the seat. And make sure we control those direction changes as well, because you'll see a lot of people bouncing out of that direction change. So we might have great control on the eccentric and then we bounce out. And what's going to happen there is we are most vulnerable in the direction changes to injuries. So just make sure you have that micro pause in the stretch and then drive in and squeeze the adductors. But that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to be any sort of quad compound. So that's going to be actually exercise number 2 and exercise number 3. I think you should really be doing a couple quad compounds. So when I say a quad compound, this could be any squat variation, any leg press variation, any lunge variation, anything which really loads up the legs. So my favorites are going to be either a hack squat or a leg press, or just any other squat machine variation. The reason I opt for machines over barbells is just because we get a lot more stability there. We can have the same foot placement. We can really just focus on actually using the muscles we're trying to target, rather than having so many different things going on. And the way we train is very progression based. So we know that if we're setting our feet up in the same place, we're setting up the same machine. We know that if we're going through the same range of motion for the same tempo, then we know that when we add weight on the side, or if we add reps, we know that we're progressing. So exercise number 2 and exercise number 3 are going to be quad compounds. So choose 2 that you get on well with. Like I said, this could be a leg press, it could be a squat machine, it could be a belt squat, it could be anything. But the ones I'm going to go with today are a hack squat and a leg press. That's exercise number 1, 2, and 3. Exercise number 4 is going to be a hamstring curl. Now, typically I like to play hamstring curls at the beginning of the movement. What we want to make sure we're doing here is, firstly, what does the hamstring do? The hamstring influences the knee joint to pull the lower part of your leg up towards your glutes. So that is the only movement that should be going on in whatever hamstring curl variation that you choose. Now, my preference is the lying hamstring curl. I do actually do both lying and seated at different points in my exercise, in different points in my workouts, but my preference is a lying one. So choose one which suits you, or just do both on different leg days. But the main thing we want to be making sure we're doing is that the only part of your body that is moving is that lower part of your leg, influenced by that knee joint, and make sure you're pulling all the way up until your calf almost touches your hamstring, because that's where we're fully short, and then allow the lower part of the leg to come all the way down or all the way up if you're on the seated machine, to the point where our hamstring is fully lengthened. So we're going through the full range of motion on a hamstring. Again, make sure the pad is firmly down on your legs, or if you're on the lying one, make sure that your legs keep contact, or your upper part of your legs keep contact with the pad at all times, to make sure that you've got that control there and make sure there's no momentum being added to the movement. Exercise number 5, and the final exercise of the day, is going to be a quad extension. So a leg extension or a quad extension. Now the reason I love this exercise is because it really allows you to isolate your quads, and it allows you to load your quad in the fully shortened position. So when I say the fully shortened, I'm talking about the fully contracted position, where your legs are pretty much straight. So any other quad movement that we're doing, we really don't get that load in that full contraction position. So if we're doing a squat variation or a leg press variation, as we fully press out and our legs straighten, we get a lot of load through the knee joints there, because our legs are straight. Whereas on a quad extension, as we push up to the top, this is where the load is actually, the heaviest on our legs in most situations. So Spending time in that position is going to allow us to really load up in a position where we don't get to really use in any other movement. So make sure that when we are in the quad extension that you do spend a micro pause in that in the contracted position. And again, make sure everything else is stable. What is the quad doing? It influences the knee joint to rotate by pushing outwards, so the opposite to our hamstring. So just make sure every other part of your body is stable. So your ass is in the seat. What I recommend doing is using straps on your wrist and strapping into the seat. Most seats have handles to keep everything stable, and then just extend your legs. Nice and simple. And like I said, control those direction changes and progress your lifts over time. But those are my top 5 leg exercises which you should be doing if you want to grow big complete legs, guys. I have plenty more videos just like this coming your way, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video then make sure you hit like as well. But I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video.